So, good afternoon. Yes, we must apologize. We say the press briefing was at noon. We are late by about an hour. There were many other things that were running in the background. So, I guess we are ready now. So, good afternoon, all of you. My name is Eric Nyongesa Wafula. As I mentioned on Friday, I'm the spokesman for the family of Wafula Chebukati, the former IBC chair. Present with me here, this is Kutso Tolo, who is his brother-in-law, Jonathan Chebukati, the firstborn son of the late Wanyonyi Chebukati. This is the firstborn daughter, Rachel Chebukati, and the last young man in the family, Mane Chebukati. So these are the three children to the late Wafula Chebukati. The Mary Chebukati, the wife, is engaged in other receiving visitors at home and other engagements. So we are here today purposely, one, to bring to your attention what may have ailed the former chairman of IBC, the conditions up to the time when he passed on, so that we allay any speculations about his health condition and what may have been going on in the past few years. We know there has been a lot of speculation in the press, and there are many times when the press will have required possibly to understand what was going on in his life. But since he left IBC, became a private citizen, he respected his space, and during all that period, whatever issues went on in his life were private to him, and he wanted them to be kept that way. And we as members of his friends and families respected that. But now that it's passed on, I'm sure it will also be his wish that, and the wish of the family, that we don't longer continue having these unnecessary speculations on what may have been going on in his life before he passed on. So one of the things I want to bring out to you is that, yes, it's true, the late Wafula Chebukati was unwell. He was diagnosed with brain cancer. It's called glioblastoma, fourth level of cancer, in April 2023. Because of the stage in which the cancer was, the doctors recommended that he needed to undergo an immediate surgery. And the family, having explored many other options for that medical attention, he was taken to Germany. And he underwent an operation which was very successful. The tumor was removed. And he was in Germany up to the month of July of 2023. He came back. And when he came back, many of you will remember that he resumed his public life. And if you remember, from July 2023 up to the end and a bit part of the early 2024, he addressed very many international forums on matters elections. And he was invited to various forums, having successfully conducted the Kenyan elections and having become a very respected authority within the matters elections. During that period, he also started writing his memoirs. He started doing research. He was back actively to his game of golf. I remember I had several rounds of golf with him at Karen Country Club. Come the month of April 2024, it was discovered that the tumor had recurred. And because of that, he had to go back to Germany and underwent a second successful operation where the tumor was moved again. He was in Germany until the month of August 2024. He came back home, having undergone a successful operation. Came back home, he went back to his duties, back to his family. He was a farmer, so he could visit his farm in Kitale. Unfortunately, in December 2024, while going for a checkup in hospital, it was discovered that the tumor had recurred again. And he was in hospital from mid-December up to early January this year. When he was discharged, he came back home as the families considered whether to explore possibilities, and as they consulted widely with the doctors and experts whether it was necessary to undergo a third operation or what other advice would be there in terms of managing that condition. So he went back to hospital on the 12th of February for bi-monthly routine checkup so that the doctors could assess the situation and advise him. When he went back to hospital on the 12th of February, the doctors were of the view that he needed to be admitted. He had some problems with his chest. So he was admitted on 12th. He was in hospital. On the 15th February, he was taken to the ICU. He was in the ICU from the 15th to the 20th of February, when the family received a call after midnight indicating that the late Wafula Chebukati had suffered a cardiac arrest. Now the widow, with the brother-in-law, the 3 sons and myself, or his 2 sons, yeah, the daughter was not there, his 2 sons, we went to hospital, and when we got to hospital, the information we were given then that the doctors had made an attempts to resuscitate him that were not successful, and he passed on at 11:35 that night. Some of the issues that we want to clarify is this, contrary to what may have gone on in the public media, is that at no material time was the immediate family or any other member of the family called upon and informed that he was clinically dead and there was any need for him to be switched off any life support machines. All that as a family we know is that until the time the family was called and that information was given that he suffered a cardiac arrest, is the point in time that the family came to the sad news that they were losing their husband and father. So that's information we want to make very clear, that there shouldn't be much speculation. He worked and successfully completed his tenure at IBC. And like any other human being, he suffered from human frailty in terms of health. And it was a condition that he didn't know until the time it was discovered in 2023. And when it was discovered, it was unfortunately at quite an advanced stage. But it had been managed well. Therefore, as a family, we are saddened with this loss. And the family, for purposes of the facts that he was a public figure, and for purpose of keeping good records for posterity, his grandchildren and the rest, the family is still considering a postmortem as a routine document to consider, and for any other information that the family may require after the postmortem has been done. So the postmortem may be done anytime between today and tomorrow. We believe that that information is sufficient to satisfy any curiosity and speculations that have been there. But what we want to also make it clear that so far since he passed on, no member of the family other than myself on Friday has given any press conference on any matter touching on the circumstances and the health condition of Wafula Chebukati. We saw in the press that there were some messages attributed to some members of the family want to say that has not been made by any member of the family. And please let the press, you already know who the members of the family are from here. The wife to the late is a public figure. She's a chair of a constitutional commission. She's known, and she has not also equally issued any press conference. And therefore, if you have any press conference, please don't attribute to anybody other than these 3 children you see here, and myself as a family spokesperson, or us and when the widow was to issue one. Or if the old man, because his father, who is aged 94, is still alive, and is in Kitale in the village. So we believe those are the people who can, the father can speak about his son. And luckily the father, like I mentioned on Friday, he had traveled overnight on Thursday. So on Friday, when we were still processing at the very early hours the death of Wafula Chebukati, his father was around and he left for the village. The burial has been confirmed for the 8th of March at his farm in Sabata, within Kitale, within Trans Nzoia County. We are hoping that we should be able to have a requiem mass for him at the Church of God on Thursday at about 10 a.m. The final details of the requiem mass will be shared in the press. Hopefully when we do an advert in the press on Wednesday. Otherwise, we have been receiving various guests at home, and we are grateful that the Honorable Speaker has visited the family, as you're aware, and condoled the family. And the family is still busy receiving other government people and friends. And the family is having their regular evening meetings. And there may also be a communication. We may consider having 1 or 2 days for tributes to be done by his close friends. He was a lawyer of repute and a golfer of high standing. So we know that there are golfers and people from the legal fraternity. They are his colleagues. Of course, he also operated in a political space, and there are many other politicians who also may wish to pay him tribute, and we are alive to the fact that that may not be able to be done during the requiem mass and during the burial at home. So we look for an opportunity to provide that opportunity for them so that they can pay their last tribute to him. That will be appropriately communicated. Otherwise, asanteni sana, unless there is an extraordinary question on issues I've not addressed. Yes. The family is farming up in terms of the logistics and the doctor who may carry out the postmortem. They need to settle on that, and therefore once it's done, hopefully it should be done today or tomorrow. Yes. But that's just for purpose of the family maintaining some records on his health condition.